welcome to another edition of 3 Minutes to Prosper with our Meet Our People segment. And today we have a very special guest, Jack Bruce. He's our Director of Population Health and Wellbeing and does a fantastic job and an outstanding colleague. Welcome, Jack. Appreciate you joining us today.
Happy to, Paul.
Thanks so much. And let's just dive right in, Jack. If you wouldn't mind, just tell us a little bit about your family.
Well, my wife and I, we have four grown kids. All four went to Brookwood High School right here in Gwinnett.
Right. They're all Broncos. Wonderful.
Yeah, Broncos they were. Yep.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I can tell you, I've got three of my own. So you having four, man, you're my idol. Okay. Not sure. Maybe your wife's my idol. How about that? Okay. That's good. Well, thanks for a little bit of detail about your family. Next thing is just tell us how you came to focus on population health.
Well, Paul, it's an interesting question, and I've always been interested in people and love people. In fact, you may not know that before I got into business, I was actually a minister for a number of years, and then when I transitioned into HR, I was able to take that same passion that I had for people and apply it in a business setting. So I've always been pretty much employee centric. Mm-hmm. My one role that I had was a HR and operations role combined as a COO of a small firm here in Atlanta. And in that role, I got to apply some of that passion for people, but also got to see the importance of meeting business goals. And it was during that time that I came across a book that really changed the trajectory of my career. Dee Eddington, who was at the University of Michigan, wrote a book called Zero Trends. And the subtitle on that is something along the lines of health as a serious economic strategy. And while I'd always been big on wellness, he took it to a deeper level for me, helped me to understand that wellness was more than just caring for people, but it was also critical to the bottom line of a company.
Sure.
Some of the things real quick that really resonated with me and what he wrote was that his definition of health wasn't the absence of disease, but it was energy and vitality. And that has always stuck with me. And he also had a major point saying that it's not about helping the sick get healthy, but keeping the healthy, keeping people from getting sick. And it was a major change for me.
That is so fitting, particularly with what's going on right now. And so very apropos. Thanks, Jack, for that. Just tell us briefly about your role here at TBC and Population Health and Wellbeing.
Well, I once heard somebody say that we need to quit focusing so much on pulling people out of the water, but trying to figure out why they're falling into the river in the first place. And my role in population health is really, it's part search and rescue, but it's also prevention as well. Mm-hmm. So I try to help our team, whether it's our county executives or our advisors, when they're trying to find solutions for our employer clients when it comes to wellness and well-being. I try to find those solutions for them. Some are going to be on the preventive side. Like if they just want to have something as simple as challenges for their employees, I will help them find those solutions. Or if they want a whole comprehensive wellness program where you're having biometric testing and where you're having health risk assessments and data analytics and on-site health coaching and building a whole culture of wellness, I'll try to find those solutions. But on that search and rescue side, there's also a bit there too, where we will go in and look at the data analytics and the claims for a particular employer, and we'll find trends. We may find that there's a lot of tobacco usage or there's diabetes is rampant, and we'll try to find solutions to target those. And even more importantly, with a lot of these, again, using data analytics and making sure that we put all the compliance and HIPAA guidelines in place, we will even zero in on specific individuals who need assistance either with case management, disease, or condition management, and not only try to help them to get better and feel better and have that energy and vitality, but it also helps to reduce the cost to the employer for their health care. So those are the two things I try to do with our team assisting there.
That is awesome. I can tell you right now, I can testify here to everybody out there listening, Jack Bruce is the number one helper, assistant, go-to guy. All
I
right.
love your hyperbole. I really do.
Yeah, go-to guy. Just real briefly, and going a little bit further on that, what we just discussed is, your title is Director of Health and Well-Being, and if you wouldn't mind, I know you've talked about it a little bit, but just a little bit deeper on that well-being side of it.
Well, Paul, that's really my soapbox. And I go to another book that I read a number of years ago. It was Dan Buettner's Blue Zones. I think he was commissioned by National Geographic, but he went around and looked at 4 communities around the world that had the largest number of people living to 100 years old or more. And he went and researched those communities. One was in Japan, one was in Italy, one was in Costa Rica, and one was in Loma Linda, California. And in researching all of those, he came up with these commonalities that were found in these groups of people. And there were a lot of things. It was not only their physical activity, but it was social and community health. There was mental health and how they dealt with stress and how they handled stress. Spiritual health was a significant component of all these groups. Their diet, which was primarily plant-based and whole foods, and just the fact that these groups, the people there, had purpose and meaning. And all of those are components of what is known as well-being. And that launched me into a greater understanding of well-being. And quite frankly, anytime that I'm having any say in putting a wellness program in somewhere, I want to make sure that well-being is being covered, that
Sure.
all aspects of our health are a part of it.
Yeah, that's man. I'm glad we're doing this, because this is just so fitting to what's going on right now. It's not just about keeping the body healthy, but so many people are dealing with the mental health aspect side of it too. So that's very fitting. Let's shift away a little bit from your job and talk to us a little bit about what you like to do in your spare time. Do you have a hobby or a passion or something you like to do when you're not helping everybody outside at the benefit company?
There's a couple of things. I am very slow, but I do enjoy running. And I ran
Can
my
you beat Amy in a race?
I don't know if I can beat Amy.
We don't know. Okay, all right. Okay, we don't want to publicize that.
Yeah, I ran my first 10K when I was 40 years old, and then 10 years later, I ran my first marathon. And I still run a little bit. I'm part of the Atlanta Track Club. I also enjoy gardening. That's where I find my therapy, is working in the yard. And as you know, Paul, the last couple of years, birding in my yard is something that I've really gotten into, and I enjoy the birds. In fact, we're recording this the first part of May. Last month, I think I recorded about 30 different species of birds in my backyard. Wow. Here in Gwinnett, and awesome. Have several bird nests right now and baby birds in my yards, which I am enjoying. So yeah, that's something new.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, there you have it. You've got 2 book recommendations from Jack Bruce, Zero Trends and Blue Zones. And you also got to get an idea of what he does with population health and well-being. Jack, thanks so much for your time. We appreciate it. And we'll see you next week on 3 Minutes to Prosper on our Meet Our People segment. Thanks again, Jack.
Thanks for all you do, Paul.